Ihuoma took a deep breath. Her heart began to race and beat fast. I had a vision last night about you, sir. Please, sir, I know what I'm about to say. Might sound crazy, but please listen to me. You were you were dead. Something bad is going to happen to you. The smile faded from Mr. Oja's face as he became shocked, confused at the same time. Ihoma, this is a very serious thing to say. I know you are joking. Ihoma, I'm sure it was just a bad dream. It is not a dream, oh. Mr. Oja, please believe me. Ihoma insisted, with her voice shaking as she was talking. I see things that will come true. Please, you have to believe me. Mr. Oja signed. I appreciate your concern, Ihoma, but I don't believe in visions. Years passed, and Ihuama's fame as a healer and seer grew in the village. One day, a wealthy stranger came to the village seeking for her help. He had heard of her abilities and needed guidance. Ihuama, now a young girl in her teens, agreed to help him. To her surprise, the stranger revealed he was a long-lost relative who had been searching for her since her parents' death. He offered to take her to the city where she could receive a proper education and use her gifts on a larger scale. Iwama agreed and left to the city with the stranger, whose name is Uncle Nedu. Auntie Forma and her family appreciated Ihoma and waved goodbye to her as she is about to start a new life in the city. The city of Lagos was a world away from the quiet village of Oba. The air was thick with the smell of street food and the sound of hawking cars. Vendors calling out their wares. Ihoma suddenly slept off in the car and entered into a deep sleep. Inside the vehicle, she saw another vision this time around. She doesn't know the face of the person she saw, but what she saw was very troublesome. She wouldn't talk to her uncle Nedu because she was scared of starting her first day in the house of Uncle Nedu talking about a scary dream. Welcome to your new home, Uncle Nedu said with a smile. She was welcomed also by Uncle Nedu's wife, who had no child yet. Uncle Nedu helped Ifoma with her luggages. He showed her to her room that had been prepared just for her. This is your room, Ihoma. I hope you love it. Ihoma smiled back at Uncle Nedu. It is perfect, Uncle. Thank you so much. Uncle Nedu's wife is a sweet woman. She welcomed Ihoma with love, started to treat her nice, and also treat her like her own child. She loved Ihoma to the extent that she quickly told her husband about starting a school for Ihoma. So, the two of them started to make preparation for Ihoma to start a new school. Finally, they settled for one. The next day was her first day at school. Ihoma woke up early. She put on her new school uniform, dressed up well, and Uncle Nedu's wife, called Oma, took her to school. At the gate, Mrs. Adeola, the school principal, welcomed Ihoma at the gate. We are very happy to have you here. Ihoma nodded, feeling a little overwhelmed. She followed Mrs. Adeola and waved goodbye to Auntie Oma. Finally, they arrived at a classroom filled with students. The classroom fell silent as they entered. Class, this is Ihoma. She is new here, so please make her feel welcome. Mrs. Adeola announced Ihuoma as the new student. Ihuoma stood at the front of the classroom, her heart pounding. She looked around nervously, but her fears were soon eased when a girl with bright eyes and a wild smile waved at her. Hi, Ihuoma, I am Mma. Come sit with us. Mma called out to her. Relieved, Ihuoma walked over to the empty seat next to Mma and a boy named Ike. They both greeted her warmly, asking her questions about her village and her life there. Ihuoma felt a sense of belonging started to grow in her heart. As school passed quickly, filled with new experiences and friendly faces. Just then, a teacher walked in, a science teacher named Mr. Oja. Ihuoma jumped out of her chair with fear. Before Mr. Oja could introduce himself, Ihuoma shouted, Mr. Oja, is this you? The science teacher looking surprised because he had not seen her before. Young girl, who are you? And how do you know my name? Ihuoma, still terrified, could not talk. She was shocked and she started to stammer. I am sorry, sir. I heard one of the students saying you will be coming in next. That is how I was able to know your name. I am Ihuoma and I resume today. I am a new student. Mr. Jan nodded his head and told her to sit down. He started to teach. Ihuoma was still shocked, but she found herself enjoying the lessons. He explained things in a way that made even the most complex topics seem simple and interesting. During lunch, Ihuoma, Mma and Ike sat under a large tree in the schoolyard, sharing stories and laughing. Mma told funny tales about her mischievous younger brother, while Ike talked about his dream of becoming an engineer. But Ihuoma was seriously lost in thought because of who she has seen today. As the school ended, Ihuoma gathered her things and met Uncle Nedu at the gate. How was your first day, Ihuoma? Uncle Nedu asked. Ihuoma looked scared but hid her feeling. It was wonderful, Uncle Nedu. I made new friends and I learned so much. Ihuoma replied Uncle Nedu, smiling. Pleased to see her so happy. I am glad to hear that. I knew you would do well. That night, Ihuoma could not sleep. She was still confused on what to do. The nightmares were becoming more frequent. That night, Ihuoma decided to join her uncle in the living room. He was reading a newspaper, but he set the newspaper aside when he saw Ihuoma approaching. Ihuoma, I want to talk to you about something very important, he said. I know your gift can be both a blessing and a burden. Uncle Nedu began to talk to her. In this city, not everyone will understand or believe in your visions. But you must always stay true to yourself. If you see something important, something that could save a life, you must find the courage to speak up. Ihuoma absorbed his words, knowing he was right. She had been hesitant to share her new scary vision with anyone in the city, afraid of being misunderstood. But she knew that her gift was part of who she was, and she wouldn't ignore it. Life seemed perfect for Ihuoma. She excelled in her studies and enjoyed her time with Mma and Ike. But every time the science teacher walked inside the class, Ihuoma is always scared and uneasy. But one night, As the city slept under a blanket of stars, Ihuoma was visited by another vision. She found herself in a dark, unfamiliar room. She saw Mr. Oja, her science teacher, again, but this time around, he was lying motionless on a bed. His face was pale and his eyes were closed as if he was in a deep sleep. Beside him, his wife, Mrs. Oja, weeping. Ihuama felt a chill run down her spine as the vision intensified, showing Mr. Oja's lifeless body being carried away by men in white cloths. Ihuama woke up immediately with shock, her heart racing and pounding in her chest. This vision is now clearer. She has been seeing Mr. Oja in her visions with a lot of scary things happening to him. But this night's own is more serious. The next morning, Ihuoma arrived at the school with a heavy heart. She watched Mr. Oja from a distance. His cheerfulness and friendly smile, opposite of the haunting images from her visions. She needed to warn him, but how? Would he even believe her? During lunch, Ihuoma's mind raced as she eats with Ima and Ike under their favorite tree. She picked at her food, unable to focus on the conversation. Are you okay, Ihuoma? Ima asked her. Ihuoma forced a smile. I am fine. Just thinking. Ike leaned forward. He was curious. About what, Ihuoma? Ihuoma decided to confide in them. Do you believe in visions? She asked. Mma and Ike looked confused because they have never heard about such things before. So they asked her to continue. From childhood, I have been gifted with the ability to foresee things before it happens. I have been seeing Mr. Oja, our science teacher, in my vision. He was dead and he was killed. Mama gasped. She used her hand to cover her mouth out of shock. That's terrible. What are you going to do? I don't know, Ihuoma admitted. I want to warn him, but I'm afraid he wouldn't believe me. Ike, still deep in thought, said to her, maybe you should try talking to him. He might listen. Ihuoma gathered her courage and she approached Mr. Oja after the class. Mr. Oja was busy packing up his books to leave. He was humming to himself joyfully. Mr. Oja, can I talk to you for a moment? Ihuoma asked him. Mr. Oja looked at her smiling. Of course, Ihuoma the new girl. What is it? Ihuoma took a deep breath. Her heart began to race and beat fast. I had a vision last night about you. Please, sir, I know what I'm about to say might sound crazy, but please listen to me. You were dead. Something bad is going to happen to you. The smile faded from Mr. Oja's face. He became shocked, confused at the same time. Ihuoma, this is a very serious thing to say. I know you are joking, Ihuoma. I'm sure it was just a bad dream. It is not a dream, Mr. Oja. Please believe me. Ihuoma insisted with her voice shaking as she was talking. I see things sometimes, things that come true. Please, sir, you have to believe me. Mr. Oja signed. I appreciate your concern, Ihuoma, but I don't believe in visions. My wife and I are very much happy together, and there is no reason for anything bad to happen. You shouldn't worry yourself about this. Ihoma became heartbroken. But Mr. Ja, please listen. Mr. Ja angrily folded his hand into two and shouted at Ihoma, "Enough! I said enough. I don't want to hear any more of this. You came to this school to study, right? Focus on your studies and don't let your imagination run wild." Ihoma cried out, pleading, as she turned and walked away, feeling helpless and frustrated. She had tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen. That evening, Ihoma decided to confide in Uncle Nedu. She described the vision in detail, how the wife wants to kill Mr. Oja because of greed. She pleaded with him to help her convince Mr. Oja. "Uncle, please, I know what I saw. He will die if we don't warn him." Uncle Nedu was shocked to hear this. "All right, Ihoma, I will speak to him. But you must understand that not everyone believes in such things." The next day, Uncle Nedu visited the school with Ihoma and requested a meeting with Mr. Oja. They sat in the staff room. The atmosphere was tense with unspoken words. "Mr. Oja, I am Ihoma's guardian. She had a vision about you and she's very troubled by it. Listen, what do you think a small girl will gain by lying? Why don't you take precaution? Because this life is once." Mr. Oja sighed again. "I appreciate your concern, but I don't believe in such things. My wife and I are happy and there is no reason to worry. Please, just listen." Uncle Nedu urged. "Ihoma's vision have come to pass through before. She saw you dead. She is deeply troubled by this." Mr. Oja shook his head. "His patient wearing thin. I don't believe in such thing. My wife loves me and we have a good life. There is no way she's going to hurt me. We've been married for 6 years. I don't need you or anybody to tell me otherwise. I don't need to worry about some child's vision." Nedu felt disappointed. He left the school disheartened and he relayed the news to Ihoma. Ihoma felt a heavy weight on her chest, knowing she had done all she could. But Mr. Oja refused to listen. Despite Mr. Oja's refusal to believe her, Ihoma's vision continued to haunt her. Each night, the vision growing more vivid and terrifying. She could barely sleep, her mind tormented by the images. A week later, Mr. Oja didn't come to school and Ihoma became worried. She asked Ike and Mama if they noticed that Mr. Oja missed his class this morning. Two of them were like, yes, I noticed he didn't come. Later, the school principal announced that Mr. Oja had passed away in his sleep. This news shattered Ihoma. She had tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. Ihoma started to feel guilty. She couldn't shake the feeling that she had failed Mr. Oja. Everyone in the school was shocked hearing the news of Mr. Oja's sudden death. The school was in mourning and Ike noticed Iwoma's distress and tried to comfort her. "It is not your fault, Ihoma. You did all you could. But Ihuoma couldn't be consoled. She cried herself home and told Uncle Nedu what happened. I don't know if I can keep living with these visions. They are a burden, not a gift. Uncle Nedu hugged her and consoled her. Ihuoma, you have a special gift. It is not your fault that people don't believe you. You must learn to accept that not everyone can see what you see. Few days later, after Mr. Oja's funeral, Ihuoma was sweeping the sitting room and suddenly felt cold and she collapsed on the floor. She had another vision of a woman she had never seen before, but her face looked familiar. The woman was in danger and Ihuoma knew she had to find her. So she described the vision to Uncle Nedu, how the place looked like, and the name she saw on the vision. Finally, after days of searching, they found out where the location is, and she and Uncle Nedu decided to visit her. When they arrived at her home, Ihuoma was scared whether she would listen to her or not. But the vision was clear and she knew the woman was in immediate danger. They knocked on the door and Mr. Oja's sister Norma opened the door looking surprised. Ihuoma didn't waste any time. Auntie, you are in danger. I had a vision. We need you to leave now. Ihuoma was scared that Mr. Oja's sister named EJ would not believe her, but to her surprise, she followed her immediately. They rushed out of the house. Just as they reached the end of the street, they heard a loud crash. A gas explosion had destroyed EJ's house. EJ was shocked and she was so grateful. Thank you for saving my life. I don't believe in such things, but now I see that you are truly a gifted child. One more thing, Ihuoma said. Your brother's death is not natural. I know you might be wondering where and how I know you from, but I've seen you before with Mr. Oja inside our school. EJ was surprised because she had not seen her before. Yes, I've seen you before. You visited him twice inside the school. Now, please listen and listen good. I told Mr. Oja that his wife is dangerous, but he didn't listen to me. I told him that his wife will kill him because of greed, but he didn't listen to me. And that is the reason why he met his untimely death. Please, the wife killed your brother because of greed and selfishness. She killed your brother because of money and another man. Please get justice for your brother. His death is not natural. Mr. Oja's sister was shocked. So you mean that evil woman have finally killed my brother? I said it. I knew my brother's death is not natural. He was healthy. And all of a sudden, she called saying that my brother did not wake up again after complaining of a mild headache in the night. Thank you so much, Ihuoma. You are God sent. I will surely get justice for my brother. Thank you so much. Ihuoma felt so relieved afterwards. She continued her education, but now with a new sense of purpose. She understood that her vision were not just a burden, but a gift that could save lives. She embraced her role as a seer, knowing that not everyone would believe her, but those who did could be saved. Ihuoma's story was far from over. With Uncle Nedu by her side, she faced every new challenge with courage and hope, knowing that her gift was meant to bring light into the darkness. And so, the seer from Oba continued her journey. Thank you for watching this story. Please share with me what you love about this story and tell us where you are watching us from so that we'll send you a special hug on our next story. Please share with your loved ones, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting stories. Until I bring another beautiful story your way, goodbye and God bless you.